How deep is this cut? How long did it take for this to form?
6 to 8 feet deep and 10, 12 feet wide. In the 1940s, there was a ditch cut on this side of the valley.
This is Williams Prairie, about 45 miles east of Prineville at 4,700 foot elevation in the Ochiko Mountains. This is the headwater of the North Fork of the Crooked River.
Surrounding prairie doesn't have that natural high water table anymore, so it changes the ground and the landscape.
Exactly. Yeah, you can see the drier vegetation up on what should be wetter vegetation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the solution?
So we got a plan to fill this in to the brim, and you know, basically that's putting the plug in the bathtub. And so instead of water running off the landscape, it's now going to be able to be on top.
The first phase of restoration is filling in and leveling ground over 4 miles of deeply eroded stream gullies within the prairie. Adding additional soil will result in restored water tables closer to the historic ground surface, which will allow for the growth of a complex riparian area and an overall healthier stream, meadow, and prairie.
We did a similar project over on Deep Creek, and the natural water-loving vegetation came in pretty quick. The seeds here, all it needs is water. And so once we get that water back on this surface and saturate this, a lot of that's going to come back naturally. The Forest Service have put in a request for riparian vegetation, so next spring we will have a planting contract and we'll come in here and we will plant some of that vegetation.
When we visited, a Youth Conservation Corps crew was planting the newly filled-in ditches, which were turning muddy before our eyes.
You dig a hole, you use like a longer bladed shovel, and then just stick it in, and it has to cover it fully, and then pack the mud around. And these ones just like muddy areas, but the sedges like really like gushy, sink right in kind of mud plants.
It looks like you're finding plenty of muddy, gushy stuff here.
Oh yeah, and it just keeps getting better by the day. A crew was out here last week and the groundwater is spreading, so we get more spots to plant, which is awesome.
Once this restoration is complete, the Forest Service expects the watershed will be more resilient to a warming climate. Benefits should include a more gradual release of cooler, naturally filtered water downstream, increased forest health, improved wildlife habitat, better and higher forage for wild and domestic animals, and less invasive weeds.
So once we filled in the downcut and degraded stream channel below here, this is Sarah Spring, the water in this hole came up 3.5 feet. And so you can get an idea of the groundwater that's in this system right below the spring.
So this was almost immediate. As soon as you filled in the cut,
yeah,
the water pressure built up and the water level rose in this old beaver hole.
Exactly, yep.
That's got to be gratifying.
Seeing that and seeing the immediate response within 2 or 3 days is really, you know, what makes me love doing this type of work.
Restoration project managers use LIDAR, light detection and ranging, to determine where to fill and where to cut to restore the prairie.
We run a valley transect down the middle of the valley, and then off of that valley transect we run multiple cross sections, and then we can figure out a geomorphic grade line that we like, and we come out here and ground validate it, ground truth it, and then we can come up with the elevations that we want. And as you can see, it's all color coded.
So the colors are telling you raise here, lower there.
Exactly.
The public may encounter off-road dump trucks and other heavy equipment on forest roads in this area, which is on the south end of the Big Summit Prairie on the Paulina Ranger District.
A lot of this is going to be lush, like what we're standing on, what you're standing on. This is going to extend like that throughout this valley.
Yeah, we've done similar projects to this, and the vegetative response is quite amazing, how fast it comes back. And so I really think give this 2 to 3 years and you can come out here and you won't know that we were even here.
The ultimate goal of this restoration project is for the entire prairie to look like this area around Sarah Spring. Imagine the entire 2 miles of meadow this green and lush. From Williams Prairie, I'm Brooks Snavely for The Great Outdoors.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos from Central Oregon Daily News. And for more news from the high desert, just visit centraloregondaily.com.